Good morning, everyone. Myself, Dr. Trina Dotto, Assistant Professor, Department of Chemistry, JIS College of Engineering. So today I will tell about real gas. So if you have any doubt, you can communicate either through my email ID or mobile number. So this is very important, the course page. So if you go through this, you will get all the digital content I have already uploaded. And not only that, you will get all the assignments and also the semester questions. The subject name is chemistry and subject code CH101 for odd semester, CH201 for even semester. This course is for BTech undergraduate students, and for odd semester, the streams are Electrical, EC, BME, and for even semester, the streams are CS, IT, Civil, Mechanical. The credits are 3 and contact hours 35. So I will take weekly 3 lectures. The prerequisite knowledge required, that is the 12 standard. And in the course objective, you will learn different concepts of chemistry. So here the course outcomes are given and the entire lecture plan is also given. So today I will cover, it is the module 2, real gases, lecture 1, that is the reason for deviation of real gases from ideal behavior, equation of state of real gases. So you will be able to understand, apply the gas laws to different engineering applications. So first, you have to know what is real gas. A gas which obeys the gas laws and the gas equation PV is equal to nRT strictly at all temperatures and pressures is said to be an ideal gas. The molecules of ideal gases are assumed to be volume less than points with no attractive forces between one another. But no real gas strictly obeys the gas equation at all temperatures and pressures. Deviations from ideal behavior are observed particularly at high pressures and low temperatures. So you understand very simply to say the gases which obey the real gas equation, the gas equation, that is PV is equal to nRT. That is very important, that this one is PV is equal to nRT strictly. These are called ideal gases. But practically no gas follows this law. So these gases are called real gases, like say nitrogen, hydrogen, helium, oxygen. All these are real gases. And also the deviation, that means there are some deviation that what should be exactly theoretically, what should be the characteristics real gas does not obey. So there is some deviation. So these deviations from ideal behavior are observed particularly at high pressure and low temperature. Why I will explain you next. Okay, let's see. What are the causes of deviation from ideal behavior? I told there are some deviations. Now, what are the causes of deviation? So number one, actually, when the Gash equation derived, the scientists derived the Gash equation, they took some postulates, some assumption, but there were some wrong assumption. So I will mention two wrong assumption. That is why the real Gash does not obey the ideal Gash equation. Number one, the molecules were considered as point masses, practically having no volume. So if you consider, like say, we are in a room, there is oxygen, there is nitrogen, and you know that mostly that is like 70%, 3/4 is nitrogen and rest is oxygen. So it has volume, but it was not considered. During the derivation, it was considered the gases has no volume. So these are the point masses. So this is a wrong assumption. That is why the Gash law, which is derived based on the postulates or based on the assumption, that does not matches with the real gases. But practically, why? Because practically the gases have volume. And if say, if we take very small container, then with respect to the total volume of this container, the amount of oxygen is very significant, or amount of the gas present in the container is very significant. But say, if the volume is very high, say with respect to the universe, the volume of the gas, like say oxygen, that is insignificant. So I told earlier that if the volume is very higher, that means at low pressure. So I told earlier that at the low pressure, yes, at high pressure, at low pressure, we can basically, there is less deviation. So main deviation, the deviation observed at high pressure, because at high pressure, we get the small volume, and with respect to this volume, total volume, the gas volume is significant. But if say pressure is very low, then volume will be high. Then what will happen? The volume of the gases can be neglected. In this situation, the real gas will obey the ideal gases. That means deviation will be less. We can ignore the gas volume. What is the second assumption? Second assumption is the existence of the forces of attraction between the molecules were ignored. The existence of the forces of attraction between the molecules were ignored. That means it was assumed that there is no intermolecular forces in between the molecules. But you know very well that there must be intermolecular attraction force. Otherwise, if we compress any gas, it is not possible to convert it into the liquid. You know that in the liquid, the intermolecular attraction force increases. If we take the solid, then it will increase more. So there must be intermolecular attraction force. But during this derivation, the scientists took the assumption, took the postulates that there is no intermolecular attraction force. So that is a wrong assumption. So these two are very important. The causes of deviation. If it is asked that what are the causes of deviation from ideal behavior, then what you have to tell? That number one, the molecule were considered as point masses, practically having no volume. Second assumption, the existence of the forces of attraction between the molecules were ignored. The first assumption is valid only at low pressure and high temperature when the volume occupied by the gas molecule is negligible as compared to the total volume of the gas. But at low temperature or at high pressure, the molecules being incompressible, the volume of the molecules are no more negligible as compared to the total volume of the gas. So these are the real gas and ideal gas. It is a graph in between PV and P. Now I will tell about compressibility factor. Compressibility factor, that means how much it can be compressed. If we compress a gas, it can be liquefied. So the compressibility factor expressed as Z, and Z is equal to PV by nRT. So PV is for the ideal gas, what will happen? Ideal gas, you know that PV is equal to nRT. So Z will be equal to 1 for ideal gas. But for the real gas, it will be either less than or greater than this one. Either it can be, Z can be less than 1 or it can be greater than 1. So if say Z less than 1, that is a negative deviation. It shows the gas is more compressible than expected from the ideal behavior. Why? If say Z is less than 1, what does it mean? Z is less than 1 means Z is less than 1. So this PV by nRT is less than 1. That means pressure is less. Here the pressure means the exerted pressure by the gas to its wall. So if the exerted pressure, you can understand, if the exerted pressure is very less, it can be compressed easily. If the gas pressure exerted to the wall is very high, then it will be less compressible, it will be difficult to compress. So if Z less than 1, that means pressure is less. Pressure means the pressure of the gas exerted to the wall. It is less. So if it is less, then it is more compressible. So if Z is less than 1, this is more compressible. If say the opposite case, what will happen? In the opposite case, when Z is greater than 1, a positive deviation. It shows the gas is less compressible than expected from the ideal behavior. Okay, it is clear. Now, because you know that when Z is greater than 1, that means pressure is higher. Because Z is equal to PV by nRT. Now, you look at this graph. So, it is pressure, x-axis pressure in atmosphere, y-axis PV by RT. And PV by RT, that is the Z or compressibility factor. So here you can see that for the ideal gas, it goes like a straight line because here Z is equal to 1. Z is equal to 1. You can see here. Okay, the value. But for all the real gases, I told Z is either less than 1 or greater than 1. So notice very carefully that CH4, N2, the graph, this one is the graph for CH4, okay, for CO2, all this graph is going below this straight line. That means these values are less than 1. But for helium, if you consider for the helium, for helium, it is going above the curve. That means for helium and hydrogen, here in this graph only you can see for hydrogen, and also for helium and hydrogen, the compressibility factor Z is greater than 1. So why it is greater than 1? Because these are very lighter in weight, so their intermolecular attraction force is very less. That is why it will be greater than 1. PV by nRT, that means Z will be greater than 1. It is P will be higher, it is less compressible. Next, you will learn some important definition. First is Boyle's temperature, TB. The temperature at which real gas obeys the gas laws over a wide range of pressure is called Boyle's law temperature. Gases which are easily liquefied have a high Boyle's temperature, whereas the gases which are difficult to liquefy have a low Boyle's temperature. So here you can see the compressibility factor Y and pressure at the x-axis. Z is equal to for perfect gas, or you can say the ideal gas. These are the lower, that is the higher, and this is the Boyle's temperature. And it is expressed as TB. TB is equal to A by RB. Next, more 3 important definition. These are the critical temperature, critical pressure, and critical volume. So critical temperature expressed as TC. It is the maximum temperature at which a gas can be liquefied. It is the maximum temperature. So this term is very important, that is, it is the maximum temperature. Maximum means if we take the temperature above this temperature, above the critical temperature, so it is not possible to liquefy. Say we are taking a gas, it is compressed to liquefy. So we have to maintain a certain temperature. So this is the maximum temperature above which the liquefaction is not possible. So it is a maximum. And T is equal to 8A divided by 27 RB. And you know that A is the van der Waal gas constant. A and B both are van der Waal gas constants. And R is the universal gas constant. Now critical pressure. It is the minimum pressure required to cause liquefaction at TC. So PC, the expression of PC, the critical pressure expression of PC is equal to A by 27 B square. A and B both are the van der Waal gas constant. So it is the minimum pressure. That means if we compress a gas, so a minimum pressure need to be maintained. If the pressure is less, then liquefaction is not possible. If we compress, So pressure, we have to give more pressure. Okay, so it is the minimum pressure, below which the liquefaction is not possible. Next is the critical volume. It is a volume occupied by 1 mole of a gas at Tc and Pc. So Vc is equal to 3b. Okay, now molar heat capacity of ideal gases. So specific heat C of a substance is defined as the amount of heat required to raise the temperature of it. Defined as the amount of heat required to raise the temperature of 1 gram of substance through 1 degree centigrade. The unit of specific heat is calorie per gram per degree Kelvin. So this is the definition of specific heat. So you have learned lots of definitions like critical pressure, critical temperature, Boyle's gas temperature, heat capacity. So now we'll solve some problems. Then you will be more clear about that. So question number 1, example 1. It tells 1 mole of SO2 occupies a volume of 350 ml at 300 degree Kelvin and 50 atmosphere pressure. Calculate the compressibility factor of the gas. So you know the formula, what is the compressibility factor? Z. Z is equal to PV by nRT. So here, what are the given factors? One is pressure. Here we know that Z is equal to PV by nRT. Okay, this one. This one you require. PV is equal to nRT. Sorry, Z is equal to PV by nRT. Now, as per the question, what are the data given? Pressure is equal to 50 atmosphere. It is given here. Pressure is 50 atmosphere. Now volume is 350 ml. It is given here. Volume is 350 ml is equal to 0.350 liter if you divide by 1000. And N is 1 mole. N is 1 mole. So now just put here, and R is the universal gas constant. For the MK system, that you have to take 0.082. It is very simple problem. Just calculate, you will get the result. So thus, SO2 is more compressible than expected from ideal behavior. Why? Because it is less than 1. It is 0.711. So it is less than 1. That is why we can conclude SO2 is more compressible than expected from ideal behavior. Example 2. 1 liter of a gas at 300 atmosphere and 473 Kelvin is compressed to a pressure of 600 atmosphere and 273 Kelvin. The compressibility factors found are 1.072 and 1.375 respectively at initial and final states. Calculate the final volume. So, what you have to calculate first, you know that PV is equal to nRT and Z is equal to PV by nRT. So if you take like P1 V1, you know that Z is equal to PV by nRT. From this equation, the compressibility factor, from this equation we get P1 V1 is equal to Z ln RT1, and here we get P2 V2 is equal to Z2 n R2. It is a Z P1 V1 is equal to Z1 n RT1, and P2 V2 is equal to Z2 n RT2. Now just divide P1 V1 by P2 V2. Then you will get the result. All these things are given, like say it is the pressure P1, 1 liter of gas, it is the N is given. So here the temperature is given, 300 atmosphere pressure, temperature is 473, so it is the P1, it is the T1, and after compressing we get the pressure P2, that is the 600 atmosphere, and T2, that is the 273 Kelvin. And compressibility factor also given, that means Z1 is 1.072, Z2 is 1.375. So easily you will get the final volume V2, and initial volume also it is given 1 liter. Okay, so it is very easy. You practice in the home, then you can be clear. The example 3, calculate van der Waals constant for ethylene. Van der Waals constants A and B. So you just go back to the equation, then you can remember. Okay, these equations are given, like TC is equal to 8A by 27 RB, and PC is equal to A by 27 B square. TC and PC are given in this problem. So if you just divide TC by PC, then you will get the result, because A will nullify this A, you will get 1B will be nullified by here 1B. So from this equation, you will get the B. So just divide TC by PC. So it is done here in the problem 3. It is done here. TC is given and PC is given. So TC by PC, if we do this, then we will get the B, the value of B. And if we put the value of B in the equation, then we will get the value of A. Okay. So I hope you are clear. If you have any confusion, you can communicate me. Now let's check how much you have learned. First MCQ, that compressibility factor Z is equal to, which one will be correct? Z is equal to PV by RT, Z is equal to PV by RT, Z is equal to PM by RT, Z is equal to PV by NT. So it will be Z is equal to PV by RT. For an ideal gas, the compressibility factor is 0.5, 1, 1.5, 2. The answer will be 1. Answer will be, which one will be answer? That is 1. Temperature at which real gas obeys the gas law over a wide range of pressure is called Boyle's temperature, critical temperature, inversion temperature, absolute temperature. The answer will be Boyle's temperature. Each question carries 2 marks, and short type of questions. Define critical temperature, critical volume, and critical pressure. So you can answer this very easily, that what is critical temperature, critical volume, and critical pressure. So critical temperature means the maximum temperature required for the liquefaction. Go to the text, then check it that you are able or not. Okay, so critical temperature, the maximum temperature at which liquefy can be possible. Liquefaction can be possible. Critical pressure, that is the minimum pressure required for the liquefaction. And critical volume, that is the volume occupied by the 1 mole of gas at critical temperature and critical pressure. So what is the next question? The next question is why H2, hydrogen and helium are not liquefied easily. So it is already I have told, they are very lighter in volume, so their intermolecular attraction force is very less. So we know that Z is equal to PV by nRT. So for these two gases, Z will be greater than 1. The pressure will be higher. So in this case, the PV by nRT will be greater than 1. That is why it cannot be liquefied easily, because it is very difficult to compress. Its pressure is higher. Describe compressibility factor of gases. So when you will describe the compressibility factor, you don't forget to draw the curve. So here the compressibility factor is given. Yes, this is the compressibility factor. So you define, then give the value for ideal gas, that is equal to 1, for real gas that is either less than 1 or greater than 1, and give this, draw this curve and show for which gases it is less than 1, like nitrogen, methane, CO2, and the gases like hydrogen, helium, that is greater than 1. So in this way you have to write the answer of this question. Okay, thank you students. So I have given the code, you go through the study material, and if you have any doubt, you can communicate, and assignments also given there. So you create your own lesson in tes.com and share with me. Thank you, and I am ending the session now.